Welcome to this video. In the previous video, we learned to find the mean of grouped data by the assumed mean method. Today in this video, we will learn to find the mean of grouped data by the step deviation method. The following frequency distribution table shows the price of toys and the number of toys sold by a wholesaler. With the help of this data, find the mean price of the toys. Let's see. In order to find the mean of grouped data, we learned about the assumed mean method in the previous video, where we choose an assumed mean A from the xi and represent the difference between each xi and A by D. On this basis, we can solve this question too. And then we multiply the fi di. But here we see that the values of di are large enough to cause an error. So to avoid errors, we will study another method here. Let's try to understand this. Looking at the table carefully, we can say that all the values of column 4 are multiples of 50. If all the values of column 4 are divided by 50, then we get smaller values to multiply with fi, where 50 is the class size of each class interval, which we represent by small h. Suppose ui equals xi minus a by h, where a is the assumed mean and h is the class size. From which we calculate all the ui and construct a table. Since we have to find the mean, can you tell what we will have to do to proceed? Very good. Now we multiply each ui by fi. And get the sum of their products, and divide them by the sum of their corresponding frequencies. But you must be remembering that to obtain ui, we subtracted a from each xi and then divided it by h. Therefore, to find the mean, by substituting the value of ui in equation 1, the following formula is obtained. In the above formula, by substituting the values of the assumed mean A, class size h, summation fi ui and summation fi, and solving, we get x equals 266.25. So we can say that the mean of the toys would be 266 rupees and 25 paise. This method of finding the mean is called the step deviation method. Today in this video, we have learned to find the mean of grouped data by the step deviation method. In the next video, we will see interesting examples based on this. Welcome to this video. In the previous video, we had learned to find the mean of grouped data by the step deviation method. Today we will see an interesting example based on this. The following frequency distribution records the weight of 50 apples. So, can you find the nearest mean weight of these apples? Let's see. We know that in order to find the mean, we first need to find the midpoint of this distribution table. which we find from the class intervals and show it in the table. To simplify the mean, assume 97.5 as the assumed mean A from among the xi and obtain the mean difference di between xi and A. Can you tell me what we will have to do next? Correct. To further simplify the mean, we will use the step deviation method, where we calculate the dui, that is, divide the di by the class interval h, which is 5, and form a table. To find the mean, multiply each ui by fi and find the sum of their products and the sum of the frequencies fi. Substituting the values of the assumed mean A, the class interval h, summation fi ui and summation fi in the above formula and solving, we obtain the mean as 95.90. So, we can say that the nearest mean weight of apples is 96 grams. So, hopefully you must have understood the examples to find the mean based on the step deviation method. But note that the step deviation method will be applicable only if there is a common factor in all the di. Today we saw an example based on finding the mean of grouped data by the step deviation method.